Good afternoon, YouTube. Thank you very much for joining me. We're here to do another Blu-ray update video. It's been a while since I made one of these. I have upgraded my phone recently because my old one wasn't doing so well. So I've upgraded to the Huawei P30 Pro. It's a vast improvement on my old phone. So I'm hoping that the quality of these videos will be greatly improved. Can't guarantee that the content will be improved, but the quality at least should be something. Got quite a lot to get through here, because I haven't made one of these videos in about 4 or 5 months. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of films to show. So without further ado, I'm going to crack on and I'm going to try and get through these quickly so that the video doesn't last forever, because nobody wants that. Okay, first up we've got Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp. Here we've got Eureka's release of the Once Upon a Time in China trilogy. So you can see we've got parts 1, 2 and 3 there. And as a little bonus to this collection, you also get Once Upon in China and America. Here we've got Annihilation. This is the US release. Imported it before I knew it was going to come out in the UK, but it's region free, so hey ho, it's all good. Here we've got the Mission Impossible box set. So it's got, all 6 films, parts 1, 2 and 3, part 4, which is Ghost Protocol, part 5, Rogue Nation, and the excellent part 6, Fallout. Here we've got Operation Mekong. This is the prequel to a film I showed in my last video, Operation Red Sea. This is a Chinese film, and it's also the Chinese release, which does mean it's region locked. But I got it really good price from eBay. This one was a Christmas present off my parents. It's the Jean-Pierre Melville box set. So this is an absolute beast of a box set. It's got 6 films from the French director. Difficult to showcase off here because I'm a bit out of space, but the 6 films are Bob Le Flambeau, Leon Morin Priest, Le Doulou, Army of Shadows, Le Cercle Rouge, or the Red Circle, and Un Flic. A little bit more mainstream next. We've got Skyscraper. This is the Japanese anime A Silent Voice. Disney's The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. This is going to be the first of a few Russian films from director Andrei Zavagintsev. This is his most recent film, Loveless. The Florida Project. This is a Chinese film from the 88 Asia range, The Enchanting Ghost. The iconic masterpiece from Orson Welles. This is Citizen Kane. American Beauty. For any fans of Martin Scorsese's The Departed, you should definitely check this out. It's the film that they were based on. Infernal Affairs, the whole trilogy, so as you can see, you got parts 1, 2 and 3. Here we've got Borg versus McEnroe. Here we've got an Artificial Eye box set. This is a collection of contemporary British cinema. Okay, so we've got 4 great films in this collection. As you can see, we've got Fish Tank, We Need to Talk About Kevin, The Deep Blue Sea, and 45 Years. This one's quite frankly a masterpiece from French director Henry Georges Clouzot. This is The Wages of Fear. Here we've got Armageddon, a bit of a classic in its own right. Here we've got the Mummy trilogy. These are the Brendan Fraser releases, so you've got the original The Mummy Returns, and Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Loch Ness. This one was a Scandinavian release. Here we've got Pontypool. This is a Canadian zombie film. Here we've got Nebraska. Troy. Ghost Stories. This is the British film. This one's a good release from Third Window Films. It's a Japanese film. It's called The Whispering Star. This also has a documentary about the director called The Seance Sono. This is going to be the first of a few Arrow releases. There's always Arrow films in my updates. This one is Kaltiki, the Immortal Monster. Love films that are based on H.P. Lovecraft. This is Mosquito. This is a US import. Here we've got another insect-related horror film. This is Bite from Scream Factory, another US import. And another US import. This is Accident Man, starring Scott Adkins. Here we've got another Japanese anime from director Makoto Shinkai. This is 5 centimeters per second. This is definitely one of his better earlier works. Here we've got The Salesman. This is an Iranian film from director Asghar Farhadi. Here we've got The Wild Bunch, a classic from director Sam Peckinpah. Donnie Brasco from the HMV Premium Collection. Another pickup from the HMV Premium Collection. This is Mr. Smith Goes to Washington from director Frank Capra, made in 1939. Here's one of Japanese director Akira Kurosawa's famous films, Rashomon. Here we've got Iceman. This is the German production. It's quite recent. This is John Borman's absolute classic, Deliverance. This is director Guillermo del Toro's directional debut, Kronos. Here we've got Disney's Zootropolis. This one was called Zootopia in the US. This is the most recent film from Hayao Miyazaki, certainly the most recent one I've been able to purchase, The Wind Rises. This one's called Waltz with Bashir. It's an animated film from Israel. This is Diamonds of the Night. It's a Czech film from 1964. Okay, next up we've got a BFI documentary. So, as you can tell by the name, German Concentration Camps Factual Survey. This is an absolutely harrowing watch. It doesn't hold back whatsoever. You know, the images are absolutely brutal. I have to say though, I recommend watching this film. It's educational. It's difficult to watch, definitely, but definitely worth your time. Something a little bit more light-hearted. This is the Japanese film R100. As you can see in the description there, like Fight Club, directed by Louis Buñuel. This is pretty hilarious. Here we've got another US import. It's Cut and Run from director Ruggero Deodato. Here we've got another Japanese release, One Cut of the Dead. This is a zombie film, quite innovative, made on a very low budget, definitely worth seeing. Great release from Third Window again. Next up we got the special edition of Firestarter, based on Stephen King's novel. Next up we've got Babel. This is a great film from Mexican director Alejandro González Iñárritu. Here we've got a steelbook. This one's called Battle of Empires. This is actually a German release. It got named in the UK Conquest of Empires. It's actually a Turkish film though. So it's, as you can see, its original name is Fethiye 1453. Here's Christopher Nolan's Insomnia. This is the US release. Here's a great film from director Roman Polanski. This is The Pianist. Whatever you may think of the director, this is a marvellous film. This is the Italian film Live Like a Cop, Die Like a Man. Here's the Czech director Jan Svankmajer's take on the Alice in Wonderland story from 1988. This is a wonderful version if you've never seen it, full of like stop motion animation. It's so innovative. A great release from BFI. Here we've got another Turkish film. This is called Once Upon a Time in Anatolia from the director Nuri Bilge Ceylan. Here we've got The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. Next up we've got an Arrow box set. This is the Female Prisoner Scorpion collection. So here we've got a great release of these Japanese cult films. It's got all 4 films in the set. So as you can see from the left, we've got Female Prisoner Scorpion number 701. Then we've got Jailhouse 41, Beast Stable, and 701's Grudge Song, along with the sort of standard book that you get with these kind of releases. This one comes with a poster as well. Here's another Arrow release. This is the horror film from French director. It's called Incident in a Ghostland. Next up, we've got the early 90s animated episodes of The Adventures of Tintin. So this release has got all 21 episodes from the TV series. Next up, we've got another Arrow release of Japanese films. It's called the Outlaw Gangster VIP Collection. So this is another example of a great Arrow box set for these Japanese Yakuza films. 6 films in this collection. So you've got Gangster VIP and Gangster VIP 2. Then there's the third film, Heartless, Goro the Assassin, Black Dagger, and Kill! Exclamation mark. Here we've got Take Shelter. This is the second special edition release. This one's another Arrow release. It's a Chinese film called Simple Life. Found this one at Poundland. Couldn't believe it. £2. What a bargain. The Equalizer 2. This is a Criterion release. Certainly do need to try and get more of these in my collection. It's just they're always so expensive. Anyway, here we've got A Brighter Summer Day. This is, it really is like a contemporary masterpiece. This is Hardware. This one was a US release. Bought this one on eBay. This one's region locked. This is Maria Full of Grace. The French classic A Man Escaped from Robert Bresson. This is Good Time. This is a contemporary release. Heard this one's really good, but not watched it yet. Next up we've got The Banishment. This is a Russian film. Here we've got Krampus, the Christmas horror story. From one of my favourite directors, Takashi Miike, we've got Sukiyaki Western Django. This is a Japanese film, but it is a US release. This one's another US release, Willow Creek. Here we've got the Sister Street Fighter collection from Arrow. So this collection's got 4 films. There's the original 3 Sister Street Fighter films, so you've got the original. Then you've got the sequel, Hanging by a Thread. The third one, which is Return of the Sister Street Fighter. And then there's like an unrelated follow-up called Sister Street Fighter 5th Level Fist. Another fantastic release from Arrow. Here's the brutal new release from Lars von Trier. It's called The House That Jack Built. Next up we've got Only God Forgives, Overlord, Rob Roy, Leave No Trace. This is an HMV exclusive. This is Arrow's release of the Gaspar Noé film Climax. Right, here we've got another Criterion release. This one has taken some tracking down to find it at a reasonable price. All will be revealed. Okay, so I've just moved to a slightly more suitable area to film this. This is the release of Zatoichi the Blind Swordsman collection. So we've got 25 films in this collection. I will quickly run through them all. As you can see on the left hand side there, we've got The Tale of Zatoichi. The Tale of Zatoichi Continues. A New Tale of Zatoichi. Zatoichi the Fugitive. Zatoichi on the Road. Zatoichi and the Chest of Gold. Zatoichi's Flashing Sword. Fight Zatoichi Fight. Adventures of Zatoichi. Zatoichi's Revenge, Zatoichi and the Doomed Man, Zatoichi and the Chess Expert, Zatoichi's Vengeance, Zatoichi's Pilgrimage, Zatoichi's Cane Sword, Zatoichi the Outlaw, Zatoichi Challenged, Zatoichi and the Fugitives, Samaritan Zatoichi, Zatoichi meets Yojimbo, Zatoichi goes to the fire festival. Zatoichi meets the one-armed swordsman, Zatoichi at large, Zatoichi in desperation, and last but not least, Zatoichi's conspiracy. Okay, moving swiftly on. Right, here we've got The Vanishing. This is actually the US release. I imported this before I knew it was going to be released in the UK. This one is region locked. Another Japanese anime from Makoto Shinkai. This is The Place Promised in Our Early Days. This one's also, as you can see from the front there, double film pack. It's got Voices from a Distant Star as well. Next up we've got Metro Manila. This is from the Philippines. The Lego Batman movie. The latest film in the Fantastic Beasts series. This is The Crimes of Grindelwald. This is the second film in Japanese director Takashi Kitano's Outrage films. This is called Beyond Outrage. This is the highly sought after Arrow Ring collection box set. I love the artwork on these releases. So you've got the original Ring film from Japanese director Hideo Nakata, the Ring 2 and the prequel film Ring Zero. It's also got a release of a second sequel film called Spiral, which was unrelated to the Ring 2, which was also called Raisin in some territories. So here's another Arrow box set. This is the collection of Western films, The Complete Sartana. Again, absolutely love the artwork on these Arrow releases. So you've got all 5 films from the box set. So from left to right, you've got the first one, Light the Fuse, Sartana is Coming. Have a Good Funeral, my friend, Sartana Will Pay. Sartana's Here, Trade Your Pistol for a Coffin. The fourth film, I Am Sartana, Your Angel of Death. And then finally, If You Meet Sartana, Pray for Your Death. These are wonderful, brilliant remastered films from like the spaghetti western sort of era. If you're interested in these, they're well worth seeking out. Well worth it. Right, we're getting there now, I promise. So next up we've got Eureka's release of Jackie Chan's Wheels on Meals. This is the Czech science fiction film from 1963, Ikari XB1, another great release from Second Run. The absolute all-time classic, Breakfast at Tiffany's. The Japanese film Before We Vanish from director Kiyoshi Kurosawa. This is director Alain René's Hiroshima Mon Amour. This is a French film filmed in Japan. Here we've got the epic martial arts classic from Chinese director King Hu. This is A Touch of Zen. So I showed you the Arrow release of Sister Street Fighter earlier. This is the Shout Select release of the Street Fighter collection. So you got all 3 films, the original The Street Fighter, The Street Fighter Returns, and then The Street Fighter's Last Revenge. Unfortunately, these ones are region locked because it's a US import. Don't know if there's any word of these coming out in the UK. Absolute classics. Right, we've got a bunch of Disney films coming up next. Here we've got the recent Christopher Robin, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the all-time classic Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Robin Hood, Lady and the Tramp, and the Aristocats. Okay, so I promise you we are nearly done now. So here we've got the South Korean film Pluto. Here we've got another Turkish film from the director Nuri Bilge Ceylan. This is the Palme d'Or winner Winter Sleep. Here we've got the German film North Face. And last but not least, here we go. This is the Norwegian recent film Thelma. Okay, so there we have it. That is all of my pickups. I didn't count how many there were because I would have lost count. Thank you very much for joining me. If you've sat through it, give yourself a pat on the back. Well done. I will try and upload more of these videos more frequently. I realise that I say that every time I make a video and then it goes months without making one. However, I am armed with a much better phone, which means I've got a much better camera. So I look forward to showing you future pickups, and I do definitely have some weird and wonderful releases lined up for the next few months at least. So thank you very much for joining me, and have a great day.